What's up, guitar enthusiasts? This is Megan from MeganCaseyGuitar.com. So, if you've watched some of my videos or some other tutorials, of course there's plenty to choose from on YouTube, and you're like, I have no idea what any of these guys are talking about at all, so please help me. This is for you. Welcome. Come on in, sit down. You can pretend like you're coming to my studio and this is your first guitar lesson. And I know you're probably eager to just start playing something right away, but there's definitely a few things you need to know before you actually start doing stuff. So, number one, what are these parts of your guitar? So I guess you don't necessarily need to know the entire anatomy of the guitar, but the things you do need to know: what is a fret? Here's what a fret is. So there's the actual metal lines that separate these sections of your guitar. So the rectangular space that is in between these metal fret bars is what we're talking about when we talk about a fret. So this down here, this is your first fret. Now, if you're playing a nylon string guitar, then you won't have as many of these dots, but please use these. These are here to help you keep track of numbers. So you should have dots either starting on the 3rd fret or the 5th fret. I've seen it both ways. So if you're starting on 3rd, then you can just think of it as counting by odd numbers. So you've got 3, 5, 7, 9, and then they have specially marked the 12th fret, which is musically significant. But if you don't understand that yet, that's totally cool. Just know that it's 12. So you go from 9 to 12. In the beginning phases, when you're learning your fundamental chords and even a few scales, you're probably not going to be straying much from the first 4 frets, so it's fine. So if you're able to quickly find 1, 2, 3, 4, then great, you're on track. So you can also tell that these strings are connected to the tuning pegs. If you're trying to practice on a guitar that is out of tune, it's going to be a very frustrating experience for you. And you're going to be like, I'm the worst at this, I quit now. But it's not you, it's because your guitar's out of tune. So, you need to know a couple things. The first thing you need to know is what note a particular string is supposed to be playing. So you can use this crazy phrase that I don't even know who came up with this, but it works. So we're going to start on what I like to refer to as the 6th string. So this is the one that's the most thick, and it should make the lowest pitch, and it's the one closest to your face. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thinking of them as numbers can just kind of simplify the process for you. So the 6th string is it's the E string. In music, it uses the alphabet just like the ABCs, except for it's way easier because once you get to G, you start over again at A. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There are what are called half steps in between those notes, and those are going to be called either a sharp or a flat. So let me give you an example here. So this is the E string. When I go up 1 fret, and when I say up, I mean to the right. So I'm basically making the string shorter. So when I go from my open E to my 1st fret, this note is now an F. However, when I go to the 2nd fret, this note is an F sharp, which is basically what you call the in-between notes. So this note is G, that note is F, and the one in between them could have 2 different names. The one name is F sharp, but it's also a G flat. So this is important. Sharp, it looks like a hashtag. Or if you're old school like me, it's the number sign. Or the pound key on the old dial-up phone. So the sharp symbol, we're just going to go ahead and say it's the hashtag. That means move up a half step. On your guitar, a half step is 1 fret. That's really important. You can know nothing and I can say, sharp that note, and you will know she means move to the right by 1 fret. Now the opposite is true with what are called flats, and I like to compare it this way. If you got a car and you got big tires If you get a flat tire, essentially your car will go down. And same thing, if the balloon runs out of air, it's flat, it falls down. So flat means the pitch or the sound of the note is going to go down. So this note we said was G. If I want a G flat, I move to the left 1 fret. So it can be a little tricky because depending on what notes we're talking about, we might call this note F sharp or we might call it G flat. But know that they are the same. They're called enharmonic tones. But yeah, G flat, F sharp, same thing. If you have a tuner, most tuners I've seen call them sharps. So you could have a string. I'm getting ahead of myself. So let's do the names of our string. We have this phrase and we're going to use it. Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Those are the names of your open strings. So it's E, A, D, G, B, E. When I was a kid, my dad taught me just to say the word EGB, but I have found that didn't sink in with a lot of my students. So we're going to use the phrase, Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye, Eddie. So if you know what those strings are supposed to be, and one of them is not right, and you know this because you have a tuner, which I forgot to pull out my handy dandy tuner here. So this is something you need. This is called the snark, and this is the best guitar technology ever. So this is a tuner, and you can get it on Amazon for like $9 or something awesome like that. And you can snap it on to the head of your guitar here. You turn it on, and you play a note. Now, I purposely made one of my strings off. So you'll see it shows up on my tuner that it's an E. And you see how it's like green in that area? That means that note is good to go. So I'm going to keep going and then I'll show you what to do if it's not good to go. So the next one, Eddie ate. I'm playing the 5th string. It should be on an A. It is. We're good. Next one should be dynamite, D. Whoops, I played the wrong note. There's the D. And that's still in the middle. It's good to go. The next one is good. It's good. And the next one should be a B. Oh my goodness, it is an A. So what that means in the way that the musical notes line up, A is before B, so that means my note is too low and I need to make it go up. So here's where these tuning pegs come in. So if you follow this second B string all the way to its source, you will end up on this tuning peg. So that's how you know if you're moving the right peg. And when you tighten, it will make the pitch go up. Now my tuner is telling me that I'm on an A sharp. So that means that I'm almost there. I'm a half a step away from that note. So this is a really good tip. When you're tuning, you don't want to go too extreme, but you need to know if you're going in the right direction. So the best thing you can do is move the peg with your left hand while your right hand continues to strike the note. So now I'm on A sharp, so I didn't go far enough, but you can see this little dial is moving. And now I'm at B, but it's at the very the bottommost side of that pitch, so I need to get it in the middle, so I need to keep going. So I'm tightening this one some more. I got it. So it's B on my 2nd string. So my last one, it connects with this one. And there it is, it's an E for Goodbye Eddie. So the biggest mistake I see with pegs is this one right here goes with your D string, your 4th string, and people want to jump over to here for their 3rd string, but it's this one. So this is your 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. So if we're looking at the head here, we got Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. So if you can tune, you are well on your way. And you also know that there's string numbers and that there are frets. And that if I tell you to find the 4th fret, you should not be going 1, 2, 3, 4. You should either go 3 plus 1 or 5 minus 1 and just go right there. You will obviously develop a better sense of visualizing what the neck of your guitar is, so it should be easier. So I think I'm just going to leave you with that today. We know about frets, we know about tuning. So it may take you even a few days just getting a handle on that. And then in the next lesson, we'll actually start playing some notes with our fingers and with the pick. So thank you for watching. Don't be frustrated. Well, you're allowed to be frustrated, but don't quit out of frustration. Being a beginner is not easy, and I think as adults we avoid things that make us feel like idiots, like beginners. But the payoff is huge. It's so good for your brain, and it's so fun to be able to play music that we love. And you don't have to be a professional musician to enjoy playing music. So I hope you can carve out some time in your day to do this for you because you really want to do it. Thank you for sharing my page and for subscribing, and have a wonderful